What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So it looks like the Clippers find themselves facing a familiar foe in the first round of the playoffs. And I've said before that this matchup right here, if it happens, you heard me speak on it, touch on it briefly in my other videos recently. If this matchup happens, it's going to be an epic first round matchup, I believe. And as much as I say that, I'm in the same breath, I want to say that I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to go beyond 5 games. Of course, actually, I don't want it to go beyond 4 games. But of course, we all know it's probably going to go 6 or 7 games if we're being logical here. Not unless the Clippers just really, come out there and take care of business the way they should and the way they can. And I think that that's the mindset they really need to have going into this series. I feel like they played with their food a lot in regards to Dallas over the last couple times they played them. Even though the teams were different, even though they had different players on the teams, I feel like the Clippers have always had the better team because when you have Kawhi Leonard on your team, you're just a better team. That's just the way it is. I mean, as great as Luka Doncic is, he is a great player. He is a generational type, type player. He is one of the best foreign players I think we've ever seen, even this early. Not too sure if he's better than Dirk Nowitzki or not as a foreign player, but he is one of the best foreign players. I personally don't put him over Dirk Nowitzki because he hasn't won a championship. He hasn't even came anywhere close. Don't even know if he's ever going to win a championship. But either way, in a series like this, Kawhi Leonard is the best player on the floor. It's not even close. I mean, it'd be nice if Kawhi, can actually, skate through this series a little bit and, save some of his energy for the later rounds. That would be great. But more than likely, that's probably not going to happen because with Luka Doncic on the floor, you're going to have to bring everything. It is hard to guard Luka Doncic. I mean, Kawhi and PG together have a hard time guarding Luka just because his game is so slow, it's so methodical, and it just lulls you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like genius the way he plays, him and Jokic, because that's the key to their game. They lull you to sleep defensively when you're trying to guard them because it looks like they're doing things in such slow motion, but they can get you in foul trouble. They can get you to reach at times, and Luka's really good at that. And then on top of that, with both of those type players, they can give you a triple-double every night also, so that definitely makes them even more dangerous. And in this series here, now that Luka has somebody like Kyrie, Paul George is really going to have to, step up as well. I mean, there has to be, in this series, it's going to have to be some nights where, hypothetically, Paul George has about 28, 29, and Kawhi has about 30 to 32. It's going to have to be games in this series where both of them score like that. It can't be like the last time they played where it was a couple games where Paul George had like 19 or 21 and, Kawhi had about 33 or something like that. Or, it's going to have to be, a collective effort between both of them scoring and their defense picked up on both ends because, of course, you can't stop Kyrie either. I personally think Kyrie they're going to put the ball in Kyrie's hands a little bit more, even than Luka. They're going to let Luka kind of play off the ball some, which is really actually, a smart move if they play it that way because it makes the Dallas Mavericks a lot more dangerous. When Luka's off the ball instead of all his ball usage that he usually does, where he's handling it, controlling it, shooting it. Doing too much, with the ball like Luka has and always had the ball in his hands. That's what made Dallas vulnerable to a lot of teams because he would either wear down a little bit or he would end up making mistakes because he has to be the facilitator, passer, shooter, all that stuff. But that's what's going to make the series more challenging if they put the ball in Kyrie's hands and let Luka play off the ball. And if that happens, then, Ty Lue's going to have to find a way to counteract that, not unless everybody is hitting on all cylinders with the Clippers. And I think that's exactly what can happen. I think that's exactly what will happen. Just when will it happen in the series is pretty much where I'm at with it because, we've seen the Clippers go down 0-2 against Dallas or down 1-2 against Dallas and then finally decide to wake up and turn and flip the switch. And I hope that the Clippers don't go into it this year thinking the same thing because you got James Harden now along with Russell Westbrook. Of course, you got the better team. You have the better matchups. You have the better team overall and you got the better player. you got the better superstar on the floor. And as far as second best player, that's debatable because a lot of people would probably take Kyrie over Paul George skill set wise and just all around just better player, great player. More so people would take Kyrie. Personally, if you ask me, I think Kyrie is a better player than Paul George personally, but I definitely think Paul George is on the right side, with Kawhi Leonard. So, I mean, I think that's going to make all the world difference. And I'd like to see what James Harden is going to bring, because honestly, if the Clippers do play the way they're supposed to, Kawhi wouldn't have to average 33 points a game or somewhere in that nature. Neither would Paul George have to average somewhere 28 points a game, because they have enough balance with their team, having somebody like James Harden who can come out there and give them 19, 20 points per game. Now you could say that Kawhi would only have to average about what he averages now, 24 points a game. And so would Paul George, about 23, 24 points a game. That's all they would need to average if James Harden comes out there and gives them, 19, 20 points per game in that series, in which, James Harden can do that. And then you got to think about Russell Westbrook. If Russ can come off the bench and give them between 13 and 15 every game with about 5 assists and, maybe about 5 rebounds per game. Now you're cooking with grease. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's even tougher on the Dallas Mavericks to defend. And then, of course, we also know Norman Powell is going to cook also. So, I mean, honestly, if the Clippers play the way they're supposed to, they can win this in 5 games. They really can. They can end this series very quickly. But at the same time, the Clippers have moments where they lull within games, within series, and where they're just kind of like not playing. They're sleepwalking. And they just got to come out with the mindset that we're the better team and we're really partitioning for a championship. We're not partitioning to, make the playoffs and try to make our imprint and see what we can do. No, that's not the mindset. The mindset is we're coming here to dominate. We're coming here to win this series. We're coming here for a championship, and getting to the finals is the bare minimum of what we're trying to do. Bare minimum, they have to get to the finals this year. So, I mean, Dallas is a good team. They've been on a hot streak. They've been playing very well. And, the momentum that they have can carry them in this series a little bit. But the Clippers are the team that can and will offset it if they do what they're supposed to do, and if everybody's healthy. We haven't seen Kawhi play in a few games. He's been out, with the sore knee, inflammation in his knee. Hopefully everything is going to be fine with that. But that means he'll have about 15 or 20 days really to be off, resting wise, which is good, because there is a couple games left in the season, of a total of like 1 or 2 games, I think, left in the season for the Clippers. And of course, Kawhi and PG won't be playing those games, and, they will, kind of get rested up. Now, Ty Lue said that, they're already looking at, the first round matchup after the post game the other night against the Phoenix Suns. So they're already working towards that, in regards to the first round matchup between the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. They're already working towards it, is what Ty Lue said at the end of his post game. So if they're already putting in work for it now, and certain things that they can implement in that series that can make them more dominant, then okay, good. I mean, that's exactly where they need to be, because, that's the season's pretty much over for them. They know where they are. They know where they stand. They know who they're going to face, and they know what they're going to be going up against. And I definitely know that Luka would love to have revenge against this team amongst any other team in the NBA. This will be the one. So, I mean, you're going to have to come out with the mindset of, beating this team in 5 games, not going 7 games. And this is the reason why I kind of didn't want them to face Dallas, because if they have to go 7 games, of course, I still would pick the Clippers to win it, of course, because they just definitely have the better team overall to me. But you're putting yourself in a bad situation by, extending a series, going 6, 7 games. Now you still got 3 other rounds to go. And now you got to hope that the sustainability of everybody staying healthy on the team is it becomes the X factor in the situation. So if you can find a way to knock them out in 5 games and, move on to the next series, get a few days rest in between, that would be the best thing. But I mean, I would say this: we can hope for 5 games, and it'd be great if it happens, but expect 6 or 7 games. That's just kind of sort of the way it is with this series. That's the way it's been based upon the history of, the Clippers playing the Dallas Mavericks the last 2 times they played in the playoffs a couple years ago. The history of it is going 6, 7 games. So I mean, I really would like to see it a lot differently. But of course, the Clippers have to come out and play with that dominant edge for it to be different than that. And of course, like I said, I know they can. I know they will. I know Kawhi will be ready. I know PG will be ready. Will James Harden them? I believe he'll be ready, and so will Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? But, the Mavericks will be ready too. So don't go out there with a big head. Go out there and execute the plan. Play within your means. Play defense as good as you can, give effort, and don't leave nothing slighted. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave nothing shorthanded. Go out there and give everything you got, and win every game as quickly as possible. Because, like I said, you're an older team. You need rest, and the journey is to get to the finals, bare minimum. Damn, so of course win it. But you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You got to take teams out, and you got to dominate. And that's what the Clippers need to focus on, and that's what Ty Lue needs to implement to them. We're coming here to dominate. We're not coming here to make friends. We're not coming here to celebrate. We're not coming here to watch them go off and score 50 points a game between him and Kyrie. We're coming here to shut things down. We're coming here to dominate. We're moving on to the next round, and we're focused on the next opponent because our goal is to win a championship, and that's it.